I'm with Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio, and welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. So we are on a Whirlpool gas dryer that is taking a long time to heat. So the first thing we're going to do is set the timer for drying, put it on high, and give it a start. There's a couple of sounds to listen for if you can hear them. There's an initial click right off the bat to listen for. Now, once you hear that, there will be another click before it begins to heat up. That first click usually indicates that the fuse and thermostat in the back are good and that they're supplying power to the gas valve. And the second click is the gas valve opening. So what we're going to do is there's a little eye piece down here. So there's a little peephole that you can look through and see that the igniter is glowing and that the gas valve is open and that there is heat. And at this point it is heating. This is a common problem with the gas dryer. We assume at this point that it is gas coils, so we're going to let it run, and usually about 10, maybe 15 minutes it'll actually stop working and we'll be able to go in and confirm that it's the gas coils with an ohm meter check. We used a Phillips screwdriver, a 5/16 bit, a common screwdriver to check out the inspection port, and a multimeter to confirm that the gas coils were bad. So this dryer has a little peephole that you can view the igniter and gas valve and burner assembly. So when we start it up, if we just look through the little hole, we can see the igniter starting to glow and gas valve open. So that way you can at least alleviate a lot of components by visually checking that the igniter is actually getting power and turning on and everything. So as we're visually inspecting our burner assembly, we can see that the igniter is glowing and that the gas valve does open and flames are present, but only for a moment, and then it shuts down. So we know that our fuses and thermostats are good, the igniter is good, so we are going to open up the dryer and check the gas coils and gas valve. So the very first thing we're going to do is unplug power to the unit. And after that, we'll remove the lint screen. There are two Phillips screws that hold the cover in place, or the top. And then we will take a painter's tool or putty knife and depress the clips to lift up this side, and do the same on the other. And rotate the lid back. Now there's a lid switch connector that we'll use the other end of our tool to pry back and disconnect it. Then we have some 5/16 bolts that hold the front to the cabinet. We'll remove those. Now with the cabinet free, we just have to lift up to free the clips at the bottom on both sides. And now the entire front can be removed. The next step, we're going to go ahead and remove the drum so we have easy access to our burner assembly. And to do that, we'll just rotate the idler pulley and release the belt. Now the belt can be removed. And it's always worth just giving it an overview, make sure there's no cracks or anything on your belt. and then the entire drum can be removed. Get our belt out of the way. And the first thing I'm going to do is just check the gas coils for their proper resistance values. We have a multimeter here, and we'll check our first valve, this one, and that has a good reading. And then we'll check that portion of it, and that checks good. And finally that one. Now we'll move over to this valve, and that one is completely open, so we know we have some bad gas valves. And now we'll check this coil, and we can see that we have completely open, so we know that we have bad gas coils. So we're now going to replace the gas coils in this dryer. The first thing we're going to do is completely remove one of the Phillips mounting screws, and just, you really just need to loosen the second one so that you can move the mounting cover. And I always replace them one for one. Just remove that one, put in our new one. There are little nubs on the top so that you know you have them in the right position. Same thing here. There is a little slide. I always just take that off, make sure the entire shaft is clean, and replace it. And then we will make the connection on this gas coil. And put that back into place. Then we will rotate the mounting cover and adjust the valve so that the little nubs go through the hole. And then we will retighten our mounting screws. And then we have the gas coils replaced. Now we'll put the drum and belt back together and put the front back on and give it a good test. We're now going to put the drum back in. And when we do it, we'll get the rear portion on the drum supports, and I just rotate a little bit to make sure that all the felt is in the proper position. Next we will put the belt back on rib side down, get it into its approximate location. Now we will attach the belt to the idler pulley. And it's a little tricky, but once you push the idler pulley back to release tension off the belt, you can then wrap the belt around the motor pulley and just recheck it out and make sure everything is in the right spot. Now we'll take the front and line up the drum with the outer felt and the clips with the cabinet front. I always do one side first and get that properly seated. Come to the other side, make sure that's properly seated, and then push it all together and make sure that the drum rides properly on the felt before I reattach the mounting bolts. Now we will put those on, properly torque those. We will reconnect the door switch, close the top, and seat it on the two clips. Now we're going to reattach the lint chute to the top of the dryer. There's two Phillips screws. Sometimes you have to push on that just to line it up a little bit, and this is a real good time to make sure that the screws don't fall down. And then we'll put the lint screen back in, hook up power, and start her up. And now we're going to run an operational check of the dryer. Start it up. We heard our first click. Now we'll go down to the inspection peephole and give it a look. And now we will replace our inspection cover. And we are finished. Thank you for watching another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.